Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. It's Tuesday morning, nice and sunny morning out there today. It's a coffee kind of morning. I wanted to continue my Albums to Discover series through Discog Shuffle. Talking about this one here. Great compilation album, The Best of Joe Walsh. So I'll talk a little bit about this in a moment. First, I just want to talk a little bit about the artist himself and go from there. So it's quite a left turn from the artist I talked about yesterday, Mr. Billy Joel. Two different directions. Billy Joel, obviously an amazing solo artist on his own, one of the best in the world, but more easily listening type of thing. Joe Walsh, on the other hand, is straight ahead rock and roll. My kind of music for sure. As much as I love Billy Joel and respect Billy Joel, but Joe Walsh is definitely my direction as far as classic rock, as far as heavy guitars, awesome solos. This guy has been part of the music scene for over 50 years, since 1964. Part of three successful bands, the James Gang, Eagles, and Ringo Starr's All-Star Band. He's also had an amazing solo career as well. It's a singer, songwriter, composer, multi-instrumentalist, producer. Just hit after hit after hit from this guy. He's done everything. He can play everything too. He's just remarkable. He hit fame with the James Gang, which unfortunately I don't have any James Gang. Kicked myself in the butt for not having any James Gang, but it's on my list. I've got so much on my list to get. But Funk 49, the song itself, showed off his skills as a major guitarist and singer, obviously. He was with them until '72. He left the James Gang and formed the band Barnstorm. Barnstorm had three albums over 3 years, but they were always marketed as a Joe Walsh project. For example, this album, The Smoker You Drink, The Player You Get, is actually a Barnstorm album, which I didn't realize this until I researched Mr. Walsh. But yeah, this is a Barnstorm album. Album. And because he was getting all the hype, the band members didn't really like it all that much. So the last Barnstorm album featured members of the Eagles on there. And the Eagles also shared the same manager in Bill Seismic. So hence, we're going roundabout circles here, but that's how Joe Walsh ended up in the Eagles. Bernie Leadon, an amazing player on his own, was leaving the Eagles. He wanted to take the Eagles in a different direction than Don Henley and Glenn Frey did. He wanted to continue on with the country folk rock type of style. They wanted a harder edge. So Seismic suggested that Joe Walsh join the band. And hence the marriage of Joe Walsh and the Eagles at the time that Hotel California was being put together. And I don't think Hotel California would be the success it was, the song and the album, without Joe Walsh in it. That album, it was amazing. The solo work in Hotel California, the song was listed as one of the best guitar solos in rock history. 8 out of 100, number 8 out of 100. So almost the competition between him and Don Felder to put that solo together was a piece of work, for sure, a piece of art. So, but at the same time, part of me thinks that he doesn't fit in the Eagles. You know, it's one of those things that don't belong with the other. That I was off Sesame Street or something like that. he fits and he doesn't fit. Like he's got that hard edge and rock edge to him, where the Eagles are more of a softer rock, country rock. Yes, he did bring some elements to that, and he gave them that harder edge. But comparing to his solo work and the James Gang, it just two different Joe Walshes for sure. But anyway, that's just my opinion. But also Joe Walsh had an amazing solo career, as well as the career with those amazing bands. He had 12 solo albums, 6 compilation albums, and 2 live albums. Hits like Rocky Mountain Way, which the Canadian band Triumph does an amazing cover with, or of. Life's Been Good, All Night Long, Ordinary Guy, In the City, from the soundtrack from The Warriors, the movie, one of my favorite movies, The Warriors. In the City is the closing song off of that movie, and I've got two of his albums. Again, this is the Barnstorm album, listed as Barnstorm, even though it's promoted as a Joe Walsh album. The Smoker You Drink, The Player You Get, and I also have There Goes the Neighborhood from Mr. Joe Walsh. So 1973's The Smoker You Drink, The Player You Get includes 3 members of Barnstorm in it, but because it was promoted as a Joe Walsh album, Barnstorm kind of demised because the other band members didn't like that very much. And 1981's There Goes the Neighborhood is the 5th studio album. It's another great album by Joe Walsh. It's more of a mature album as far as his playing, his writing, his song structure. It's just a remarkable album. It also includes 2 Eagles playing on it as well, or singing on it, Don Felder and Timothy B. Schmidt. It peaked at number 20 on the Billboard's 200, and big single, A Life of Illusion, is off of that. So I was here to talk about this one here, but I had to go roundabout to get there. So this is a great album. I wish there were other songs on it included, including the ones that's already on there. It's a nice gatefold album. So you've got Turn to Stone, great song. Mother Says, Help Me Through the Night, Rocky Mountain Way, that's on side 1. Side 2 is Meadows, Country Fair, Funk 49, Time Out, and Walk Away. So it's a combination of James Gang songs, Joe Walsh songs, and a couple of tracks from 1974's So What. But I wish there were like In the City is on there. Life's Been Good. And then a beautiful song, there's a song called Song for Emma. I wish that was on there as well. I just think it could have been a bigger soundtrack, I guess, or compilation album. There's a lot of artists on here, solo artists. You've got Joe Walsh, of course, playing guitars, pedal steel guitar, piano, keyboards, drums, mandolin, talkbox, synthesizer, and vocals, of course. And then you got James Gang members. You've got Dale Peters on bass and vocals, Jim Fox on drums. You've got Don Felder on backing vocals and guitar, Glenn Fry on backing vocals and guitar, Randy Meisner, vocals and bass, and Don Henley on drums, bass, and vocals. I mean, it's just an amazing group of musicians to on all these songs for sure. So it's a great compilation album. If you don't know Joe Walsh, this is definitely the album to get. But it's just a small sample of his work. Again, I wish it would have included a few more songs, maybe even a double album, but that's just me again. It just represents a taste of an amazing artist. One who fought demons of drugs and alcohol to win, which many didn't back in the day. And you got to be proud of the guy for doing that, because it's hell when you go there. From what I understand, fortunately, I didn't go there. But anyone who has, you either came out of it or you didn't come out of it. There was two choices basically. But he definitely came out of it and became this amazing artist that he is. So definitely an album to discover, definitely an artist to discover. And there you have it, Mr. Joe Walsh. So let's see what's next on the Discog Shuffle. Go to my Discogs. Uh-oh. Here we go. So there it is there. Nothing up my sleeve. Go to random item down below. Jeez. Michael Jackson's Thriller. There you go. I'll give it a go. I'm glad to have it for sure. But I'll give it a go for sure. Give it a fair shake. And there you have it. There's my next album to discover. Anyway, guys, have a good one. Take care. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.